on Ad Nauseam Tendrils and Esper Delver, respectively. So let's go catch them. All right, so looks like both of our players are deciding on their mulligans right now. Kandice not happy with her 7. Seth, Seth does like his 7. Does look like it's very white, however, so that might not prove very effective versus Kandice's strategy. On Ad Nauseam Tendrils, all Seth wants to see are counter spells and discard spells, of which, let's double check, he has Cabal Therapy, so he wants those. He has Force of Will, Brainstorm. I'm sorry, Force of Will, Daze. Brainstorm, I guess, kind of goes hand in hand with all those. And Spell Pierce. So, for the most part, he is not very set up to deal with what Kandice has got going on. But, that being said, still has a very reasonable game. It is Esper Delver, so in general, he will have some game versus combo, just in general, but it does not seem like quite a lot in the main deck. There are 4 Delver of Secrets, 4 Deathrite Shaman, 2 Monastery Mentor, 1 Gurmag Angler, and a Liliana the Last Hope as his main threats. And then he's got a suite of counter spells, a bunch of Brainstorms and Ponders and Gitaxian Probes. He has Fatal Push and Swords Splashes, which are not going to prove very good in this particular matchup, but should be okay overall. Looks like Kandice keeps a Lotus Petal hand. It looks okay. I think it's got, let's take a look. It's got Ponder, Lion's Eye Diamond, Preordain, Lotus Petal, Empty the Warrens, Brainstorm. Now, this Lotus Petal is going to be pretty taxed. It's going to need to do a lot of things here. And it doesn't look... Oh, there's a Spell Pierce in Seth's hand, so he could Spell Pierce this Lotus Petal. But Kandice has the option of, you know what, just not playing it. Also, she has the option of baiting with it and then playing a land. That way Seth kind of uses a card on a non-card. But yeah, looks like she's going to go for the Lotus Petal. And Seth has Spell Pierce. And given Kandice's hand... my apologies. It's not an unreasonable Spell Pierce. Now, so this is where he can Spell Pierce. He can get the Ponder. He can get the second spell with the Spell Pierce, which might end up being a whole lot better. But if Kandice just passes there, then not quite as good. That not being the case, Kandice does not have a land for the turn, it seems, and is going to have to pass it over to Seth. Seth using the new Ixalan Spell Pierce. Pretty sweet art, honestly. I don't know if it's better than the original Spell Pierce, but it's reasonable. I think they're about evensies. They both feature Merfolk, which is A+ in my book. Oh. Kandice having a little trouble shuffling Seth's deck. Ships it back, though. Seth untaps, finds a Liliana the Last Hope, and... looks like he's going to try to fire off some threats here. There's a Deathrite Shaman, so Seth feeling pretty confident here, it seems. Does Kandice find a land? She needs one to unlock her hand, obviously. Seth draws. It's a Force of Will. This is getting much harder to win for Kandice. Now there's a Wasteland on Seth's side, so if she finds a non-basic land, she's going to be only able to cast 1 spell, it looks like. And it looks like with 3 mana... Seth's going to go ahead and cast this Liliana the Last Hope. A threat on its own. There's potential that it ticks down here, but I doubt it. Yeah, it does not look like it. It looks like it's just going to tick up, targeting nothing, because it is up to 1 target creature. Oh, and it looks like Kandice finds a land, but it's a non-basic. So not going to be super good. And just to kind of go back also to Seth's list, because it is an interesting variant on the Delver, I guess, meta. It's playing basics. It's got 1 swamp, 1 plains, 1 island, which is, to be quite frank with you, it's wild. That's not something you normally see out of any Delver deck. Like maybe I've seen an island sometimes out of... oh my god, like none of them. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, you just never see basics out of Delver decks, let alone this new Esper Delver deck that's, you know, got so many color restrictions. It is mostly black-blue, but this one has Monastery Mentor, so, I mean, yeah. It's rough. Kandice does get to play her land and Brainstorm, however, it's probably not going to be good enough, it seems. Oh, she did find a land, but it's a volcanic island, so it's not the best land. A lot of things, are going right for Kandice, but not enough. Finding the land there, step 1. Brainstorming, step 2. Didn't get dazed or force of willed, and then yeah, resolving brainstorm, finding land. I mean, these are all really good things. It all happened in the span of 1 turn, but even so, we'll see. Oh, just got reminded by Chad. Blue-Red Delver does love basics. My apologies. That is true. It is the only variant, I would say. There is no Blue-Green Delver, last I checked. No, there isn't. So Blue-Red does love its fair share of basics. And Kandice actually untapped with 2 lands here. Seth has got to be a little careful here. His hand is light on interaction. The Force of Will doesn't actually have a blue card. It looks like no, doesn't have a blue card for this Force of Will yet. I think I would have hit this Underground Sea because it gives Kandice too many ways to have an explosive turn. She has a Lion's Eye Diamond in her hand. Like Seth's got to be very careful here. But playing with fire, he looks like he's fairly confident in how he wants this game to line up for him. So plus he has a Swords to Plowshare in hands. That's got to be awful. But there is the potential that he just won't. Oh, there's a Daze in Seth's hand. Okay, I take it back. So Seth does have a Daze, which is pretty reasonable. You can pitch it to Force of Will, or it's going to hit this next spell, and then potentially next turn, if he draws a land, he's going to have is going to be able to cast that Force of Will if he hits the land. All right, so now we go ahead and hit this. This Underground Sea, and then we're going to eat a spell. Probably Ponder, sure. Eats the Ponder. Kandice falls to 18. And this Liliana is ticking up quickly. Seth finds a land, but not quite good enough yet. So now, this Liliana is up to 6 already, and unlike the... I mean, it's still the other Liliana would still be good here, but unlike the other, this one actually wins the game on its own. It's going to put an emblem into play that's going to let Seth play a lot of... it's going to give Seth a lot of zombies, and it's going to close the game out in 2 to 3 turns. Kandice has no way to interact with it. I mean, no one has any ways to interact with emblems in general, but for the most part, you're just going to go ahead and get zombies every turn, and it's going to double every turn, and Kandice has nothing to say about it. Seth goes ahead and eats a Brainstorm here. Untaps, finds a Delver of Secrets, so that's another blue card for his Force of Will. I think he probably just wants to keep it that way. And Seth wants to keep his Liliana. That's super interesting to me. Like, that's... Oh, okay, he's going to play out the threat. That's really interesting to me. I think you would just want to start reaping the benefits of it. Not that Kandice has a way to, like, interact with it necessarily, but just start your clock up. Keep the Delver for Force of Will. Keep the Daze. Why not have both? Is that a Lingering Souls in Seth's hand? That might be what that white card is. Because the reasonable thing, or not the reasonable thing, but the real thing is that the Liliana is really not that good in this matchup. If he's thinking he'll get a second emblem out of it, that's fairly ambitious. But that being said, who knows? I mean, this could be correct, or this could be a minor mistake. We'll see. But so Kandice missing on land still is going to be pretty easy to beat, really. But we'll see as the turns kind of develop. Getting confirmation from chat now that the 2 cards in Seth's hands are actually... Oh, look at that, Polluted Delta. They are actually Swords to Plowshares, both of them. One is just from Ice Age, and the other is from EMA. And it looks like Kandice found her... Oh, obviously, I just commented on it. Found that Polluted Delta. Is that a foil miscut Polluted Delta? That is hot. That is something else. All right, so she finds a basic swamp. She's going to need it. Her basic swamp of choice, an interesting one. I can't tell the border on that. It looks less than black. It might be miscolored, fairly miscolored, or it's just black and I can't tell. Let's see what ends up happening here. a Swamp kind of tells me that she has either Duress or Cabal Therapy, both of which are fairly good here. It's going to take one of the counter spells out of Seth's hand, most likely the Daze. And then that way the Force of Will does get stranded, so that's pretty reasonable. Or she could be going for a Dark Ritual here. There's also potential for that. So if Seth, let's see, if Kandice, let's see, Kandice is going to go for a Duress, and that's an IDW Duress. That's a hot one. We're going to go ahead and eat this land. Is that what's happening? Oh, we're going to cast the Daze. All right, fair enough. Preserve our lands. And Kandice, Seth offering to pay with a Lion's Eye Diamond, but obviously Kandice is no fool. Third source of Plowshare for Seth. Oy, oy, oy. We have a clock going, but this not looking too good right now for him. I mean, this Liliana needs to ultimate. Oh, is it 7 minus 7? Is it minus 7 on Liliana? I thought it was minus 6. Interesting. I guess I misspoke there. I'm just remembering the old Liliana. Yeah, the Liliana of the Veil is minus 6, but Liliana the Last Hope is 7. So yeah, Seth obviously much more adept at this than I am. Let's see. Getting in for 3. So this is proving to be pretty much. I mean, this is going to kill very quickly. So yeah, at the end of Seth's turn, he's going to get 2 zombies. At the end of Seth's next turn, he's going to get 2 plus 2 zombies. At the end of Seth's next turn, he's going to get 6 plus 2 zombies. So every turn he's making minimum 2 zombies, even if Kandice wraths the board for in some way, shape, or form here. But shields are super down for Seth right now. Kandice is kind of outside of the ad nauseam kill. She's at virtually 10 life. The Deathrite Shaman could make this life very difficult for her, so she can't actually. Well, she still has reasonable top decks on ad nauseam, but it's much more difficult. She has to go less cards, and the cards she has to hit have to be zeros, ones, and zeros and ones. She can't even hit 2s. All right, so she's on a clock here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, she is. So she goes to 10 here from Deathrite Shaman. Next turn she'll take 7, go to 3, and Deathrite Shaman. Okay, so she's She's a little outside of it, but she's going to get an extra turn. Oh, she is not going to get an extra turn through this Gitaxian Probe. Well, maybe she might. Bit of a glare going on right now. Kandice draws her card. She goes to 10. Oh, sorry, I changed the wrong life total. I guess I have been changing the wrong life total. Oopsies. Seth is not at 10. Seth has no fetch lands. Seth's at 20. All right, so Storm Count is 1. And shields are down, and Kandice sees it. So if she can find a line, leads with Brainstorm, so Storm Count 2. I'm not going to keep a count of all the storms, of the whole Storm Count, I should say, but let's see. I mean, Seth's on F6 right now. Anything Kandice wants to do, she is allowed to do. Well, almost. This is rough stuff. This is, let me think here. So Kandice is at 10. She falls to 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, she's dead. She has to go off this turn. Yeah. But it looks like it's nothing but blue cards in Kandice's hand. It doesn't look like she has a line, but she's searching. I mean, that's the crazy thing about Ad Nauseam Tendrils is like you may not think that you have a line or a way, like a way to win, but very often the hands are so redundant and forgiving that you can, but there's a lot of things that could go wrong here. Namely, there's a Death Ray Shaman in play, so even the Past in Flames kill is sort of shut off because he can eat one or two, or he could eat at least one of the rituals, which could be pretty important. Typically is, and having access to only one black here is also hurting Kandice quite a bit. Alright, looks like she's going to use her other blue. She has to do something here, or else she's going to lose the Death Rite Shaman on the following turn. That's just how the story goes. And she can't play a creature, because Seth's got Swords to Plowshares for days, even if she had creatures, which she doesn't. Let's see. Oh, wow. Kandice is... Okay, we're going to talk about Kandice's sideboard next game, but... Wow. There are some things in there. We're going to talk about it, though. And there are also some cards I don't know about. Oh, she has a second LED. Okay, this could be sick. Burning Wish. Oh my god, here it comes. So here comes the Burning Wish. She's on a really interesting version of Ad Nauseam Tendrils. She has Daze in her main deck, and her sideboard is wild. I don't know what she's getting out of her sideboard with these Burning Wishes, but she's cracking her LEDs now, and she's making, it looks like 3 red, 3 black. Yep, she's making 3 red, 3 black. Storm count is at 1, 2, 3, 4 currently. Burning Wish, get out of here. That's crazy. So Burning Wish is going to get exiled. Kandice discards, yeah. Kandice discards her hand, which wasn't anything of relevance. It looks like it's just 2 lands. She is all tapped out here. And now she's going to go through her sideboard. She's going to get Past in Flames. She's going to spend... Oh, no, she did not make black. I'm sorry. She made blue. She's going to cast Past in Flames. Casts Ponder. I don't think she finds enough here. She only has... No, she should have... So she made 6, she should have 2 mana. Okay, yeah, that's what happens. Okay. So she goes for it. Yeah, she's going to go ahead and ponder here. Doesn't look like it's going to yield anything, though. Ponder, preferable here to Brainstorm. Because if you don't find anything you want, obviously you can shuffle it away, and then just draw a fresh card, hopefully. But I just really can't think of a card that saves her here because she can't make black. And this isn't Yawgmoth's Will. She can't get back those LEDs. Let's see. Let's see. All right, looks like Kandice has got doesn't have much going on. Oh, it looks like she cast actually. I'm sorry. She looks like she cast this. She's gonna go to 8. She casts this Gitaxian Probe, draws a card, and then she's going for a Brainstorm now. She has 2 cards in hand, and she's like, yeah, this is not going to do it. So it quickly picks up her cards, and I don't think there was a line to win there. And there's a lot of people in chat right now asking, is this Ad Nauseam Tendrils, or is this Tess? Which is the Epic Storm, which is a Burning Wish-based combo deck, much like Ad Nauseam Tendrils. And I can see there's a little bit of confusion here, but it is Ad Nauseam Tendrils. Its primary win condition is Tendrils of Agony and Empty the Warrens, and it has Past in Flames. Past in Flames is more of an Ad Nauseam card than it is a Tendrils, or than the Epic Storm card. On top of that, she's playing black rituals, not red rituals. So And beyond that, this sideboard, guys. Kandice's sideboard is pretty sick. So here's what she's got. I'll go to the list, and then you guys can tell me what you think. She's got one Hercules Recall, one Biforce, one Abrade, two Gurmag Angler, two Fatal Push, two Engineered Plague, a Culling Scales, two Tormod's Crypt, Ember of the Warrens, one Past in Flames, and a Tendril of Agony. One of these one of these types is not like the other. What are these Gurmag Anglers doing in the sideboard? That is wild. I don't think she's actually going to get to cast them, but there is a synergy. I mean, there's synergy between rituals and Gurmag Angler. Like that's real magic. I don't know what to tell you. That's actually what you can 100% do that. And if I'm Seth, I mean, I'm probably boarding out. At the very least, I'm boarding out my Swords to Plowshares. There's nothing like I want to kill on the spot that Fatal Push already wouldn't kill. Xanthid Swarm, even if Kandice boards into there is a version of Nauseam Tendrils that has like Monastery Mentor in the sideboard. Like Fatal Push is good against those cards. But yeah, I mean this is a very reasonable place for her to be. She could want Gurmag Angler. She could want Fatal Push. She could even want Engineered Plague. These are all reasonable. But who knows? I mean, we'll have to see how she's got somewhat of a transformational sideboard, so we'll just have to see how that pans out for her. But I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing. Now, Seth's side, he's got one Diabolic Edict, a Settle the Wreckage, which is super interesting. I guess that does beat. Wow, actually, that does beat True Name Nemesis. It's 4 mana to beat it, but it beats also multiple True Name Nemesis, which is kind of crazy. 2 Surgical Extraction, a Stony Silence, 2 Zealous Persecution. I mean, that already beats True Name Nemesis. So I wonder what these Settle the Wreckage are for. 2 Zealous Persecution, a Rest in Peace, 1 Disenchant, a Meddling Mage, 1 Cabal Therapy to complement his 2 in the main, a Containment Priest, 2 Flusterstorm, and an Engineered Explosives. Now, I don't know what you love here. I do like Meddling Mage. I like the Flusterstorms. Those are all great. The Cabal Therapy is probably fine as well. Rest in Peace. You saw Kandice go there for a pretty desperate. I mean, yeah, she went for a desperate Past in Flames. But beyond that, a Surgical Extraction, there might be too many things to bring in, so Seth's going to have to pick and choose. But he has a lot of dead cards, right? Like Liliana the Last Hope looked really good there because it closed out the game, but otherwise it's actually not that powerful. So you might want to board out Liliana the Last Hope. These Monastery Mentors that he was running to begin with, I think those are kind of slow in this matchup. But the obvious upside is that it has such ridiculous synergy with Cabal Therapy. But I think you just want to be really low to the ground in this matchup, and you want to match card for card what Ad Nauseam is doing, because you just can't let them string the spells together and have too many rituals at any given time, or let them resolve their discard spells to get the coast clear. Like that's basically what it comes down to. So you want as many cheap interactive spells as possible. Flusterstorm being one of them, Meddling Mage being another. You can't duress that away. So these are the cards I would prefer. I think Monastery Mentor is a little too outside of what you want, even though it does seem really good in theory. Yeah, and then we're gonna take out some of these. I think he will keep in some number of Fatal Push. Decks like Kandice's tend to run, or not tend to run, but can run Xanthid Swarm in the sideboard, which lets her go off with immunity. But I mean, she has to get there. And Lingering Souls seems okay for Seth. I think a deck like this, I would really be happy to see a Collective Brutality or two. I think that's more what Seth wants than actual Fatal Push. I think Swords to Plowshares are the great catch-all. You don't need anything beyond that. And then you could play Collective Brutality in place of Fatal Push and find another way to put Lingering Souls in the graveyard, or pitch a Dead Days or something. And it's got such flexibility. It's great in so many different matchups. I can't sing the praises enough. It's so good. I'm a really big fan of that card. Let's see. Looks like our players are done sideboarding. Kandice considering her keep. Seth's angle's kind of hard for me to see, unfortunately. But, I mean, for both players, really. Kandice likes to play with her cards, like, really upright. So she leads with a Duress. That's a pretty good one. So Seth kept Flusterstorm. He has Surgical Extraction, and he has a Ponder in hand. And Kandice kind of likes everything here. She wants it, yeah, but she's going to take the Flusterstorm. It's the biggest threat to what she could be doing. Look at that. Rebecca Gwayland already for Seth. Looks like we're going to get that Ponder now that he was that we obviously saw, and he still has access to a Surgical Extraction aside from that. And so Kandice is going to have to kind of gauge her hand a little bit. She doesn't want to run out like all of her rituals or anything of that nature. She probably wants to, or just like an early tutor or something like that. She's not running Dark Petition, right? I don't believe so. No, she cut a lot of the staple cards to make room for 2 days in the main, which is pretty crazy. Oh, and the Burning Wish too. So she ended up cutting Dark Petition, but she seems to like it. Looks like she's fetching here, going to 19. Go and get an island. Can't be interacted with by Wasteland, obviously, which is going to be somewhat key in this matchup. In most Delver matchups, it's kind of what Delver is well known for: Wasteland and Disruption. Brainstorm? Yep, looks like it's going to resolve. Kandice draws her 3, adds it to her hand, and let's. I wish we could see her hand, but she's really not letting anyone see it. She doesn't want the chat to see it. She doesn't want. I mean, she certainly doesn't want Seth to see it. I think that goes without saying. But I guess while we're letting her resolve her brainstorm, we could just talk about did she bring in those Gurmag anglers? That's so spicy. Yeah, I wonder. I doubt it, but that'd be so hot. I actually think the combination of something crazy like Gurmag Angler Massacre is pretty sick here. But she doesn't have Massacre, obviously. I mean, that would have been pretty reasonable next turn. But yeah, just crazy stuff. Oh, it looks like Seth has a polluted Delta, so his hand's unlocked now. Oh, he kept the Monastery Mentor in as well. He has Brainstorm at the ready, and Surgical. I think that's a Force of Will. I can't see it. Kandice has another Ponder, just really shaping up. Really trying to sculpt her hand. Make sure she has as optimal a Storm turn as possible. Her Ponder proving a little difficult. All right, so Landis. I just conflated her name. Kandice is not happy with her Ponder, shuffling up. Let's see where this ends up getting us. We're getting some results from the. I'm getting some results from the tournament right now. It does look like there's not that many people at 4-0 that we can cover next round. We'll double check. We'll see. We will see. Kandice does pass the turn, does not hit her land drop. Seth knew his top card from his Ponder, goes ahead and fetches both of these away, goes to 18, and he's going to get duels, obviously. Well, I don't know if that's obvious. He's going to get 1 Tundra, 1 Underground Sea, and I think this Monastery Mentor is coming into play, but potentially he could pass Gurmag Angler, have Counterspell ready, or something of that nature. Not 100% on either line, but my intuition is that we're going to get a Monastery Mentor. Yeah, and then I think on her upkeep we can hit this either the Duress or the Ponder with the Surgical Extraction. That might be reasonable. So yeah, this is a Monastery Mentor. This could snowball out of control very quickly. Seth has, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? The days. Kandice has days here. Can pay for Seth's days if he wants, or if she wants. Wow, and then he can't though. He can't force this. Yeah, he's too afraid of next turn. Yeah, that's the problem with the Monastery Mentor there. I think there's a reasonable. Yeah, I think he could have just gone for the Gurmag Angler. It's a fast clock. It kills probably just as quickly as this Monastery Mentor. I mean, maybe one turn slower, but yeah, probably. I mean, wow, the days. That probably really caught Seth off guard. I can't imagine a lot of Ad Nauseam Tendrils players playing days. Like that does not seem like a card that that you see out of these decks. And Kandice is gonna get another look at Seth's hand here. See how things have worked out for him over there, and she's gonna be not very happy, I guess, with how things turn out. There is at least one Surgical Extraction. Oh, that's the Gurmag Angler. Okay, so the Surgical Extraction is gonna hit which? It's gonna hit Brainstorm. Very reasonable. So let's go ahead and hit that Brainstorm. There's Kandice's hand. Let's lay it out. Let's let the fan see. Oh, there's another days. All right. Oh, that's Brainstorm. I'm sorry. So it's gonna hit the Brainstorm. We have Gitaxian Probe, Burning Wish, Fetch Land, and is that Cabal Ritual? Can't tell. That art's a little new to me. But yeah, hitting the Brainstorm is actually very important. I like attacking the cantrips against Ad Nauseam. Like you would think in a vacuum that hitting the rituals or Past in Flames or the LEDs or something like that is like more important, but I mean, so rarely do you have that opportunity if the player is not already going off. So attacking the things that they're using proactively, again, Ponders, Brainstorms, even maybe not Preordains, but definitely the Brainstorms. Oh my gosh, and then we're gonna get a daze here. Kandice can pay for it if she really wants, but looks like she doesn't really want. Instead, she's going to go for she's going to pay for it. Okay, my bad. And this Gitaxian Probe is going to see quite a bit. All right, draws her card. She could potentially have Cabal Therapy here. Nope, she actually just has that island. I mean, we know she has a fetch line. It looks like she drew another one. So Kandice at 17 here, Seth at 16, and he set himself back a turn, but it's not going to matter with this Gurmag Angler coming down in a second. And it looks like he has a lot of blue cards in hand, so he could potentially... yeah, he's going to get rid of all of this in the graveyard. He could potentially cast this Delver. I don't see that being particularly bad. Yep, we counted 6. There was actually 7 in the graveyard. My apologies. So Gurmag Angler resolves. We'll probably... I mean, he needs to close this out fast. I mean, so the thing is, this Gurmag Angler is a 4-turn clock, and with Delver, it's a 3-turn clock if the Delver flips. If it doesn't, it is... It's still a 3-turn clock. I think it's a 3-turn clock no matter what. 8 plus 8 plus... Yeah. Wow. Kandice's life total actually matters quite a bit. If she fetches here, that's not good. Yeah. So it goes from a 2-turn clock flipped to a 3-turn clock unflipped. If it doesn't immediately flip. But we do know Seth has a Brainstorm in hand, so... Looks like she's considering her options. It does not feel like she has enough to storm off yet. She has seen 2 new cards, but I don't think that they were very relevant. And she knows that Seth, well, yeah, she knows that Seth has a Force of Will in hand. Just played Delver of Secrets. He has 2 cards. The other is a Brainstorm, I want to say. All right, so Seth's actually going to go for a Brainstorm here. Let's see. Brainstorm to flip his Delver. He could just put the Force of Will on top, keep a blue card in hand, but that's a Delver, so it's exactly what he could do. Keep the Delver, put the Force of Will on top. Or no, I didn't see. Oh man, I can't see the other 2 cards. Okay, put those 2 there. Delver trigger, Force of Will. So yeah, Kandice actually can't crack this fetch. Oh man, she can't. She has to, right? All right, Seth comes crashing in for 8. It's gonna put Kandice to 9. All right, and this fetch land, gonna be pretty nasty. So Seth has Force of Will backup. Now Kandice just needs to beat 1 Force of Will. If she can beat a single Force of Will, then that's gonna end up being really good for her. She has a second island, not where she needs to be. I would say a second island is not uncommon in Ant either. I like the 1/1 version. Like, there's very rare instances where you need island, swamp. I mean, that's been my experience, but some players like to play it a little bit differently, obviously. So let's see. Kandice tanking. This fetch kills her, basically. She needs, like, if she can't win the game here, she can't fetch. Oh, well, no, it looks like she's trying to go for it. She's going to go ahead and Gitaxian Probe, paying the life. So she's setting up. Force of Will, Delver. All right. I have shields partially up. You need to beat this. Takes a look at her top card. Not giving away. Her intentions aren't super clear here. Cabal Therapy. Oh, no. All right, so Seth has to make this work. Otherwise, oh, man, what happens? So Cabal Therapy, you. But does Kandice have a way? Yeah. She takes the Delver of Secrets. Oh, I guess. Do I have the life totals wrong? I don't think that's the case. She's paid twice for Gitaxian Probe. 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. Fetch land, 8. Yeah, she's at 6 now. Okay, cool. So she's at 6. I mean, all right. Let's see what happens. Let's see if she goes off. She gets a volcanic island. Uh-oh. What does this mean? Is this Burning Wish? Oh, I think we knew that she had Burning Wish. Okay, cool. All right, so I believe she has Burning Wish. So Storm is at 3 currently. Kandice doesn't have a lot of time. I just got an update. There's 9 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. If she wins this game, however, she's in good shape, but she has to win this game plus 1 more. All right, so there's the Cabal Ritual. All right, she's going to go up to 5 black. Storm count 5. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Storm count 4. 5 black plus 1. Ponder. Okay, not plus 1. I guess we just have 5 black going. All right, so she's chaining enough spells, has a reasonable amount of mana. Ad Nauseam's off the table, I'm pretty sure. At 6 life, that's just not safe. Seth's at 16. She needs Storm count of 8. We've got 5 with this Ponder. So it was Cabal Ritual, Petal, Cabal Therapy, Gitaxian Probe, Ponder, Storm count 5. Burning Wish would be 6. And then Burning Wish would be 6. Tendrils would be 7. That's not enough. Oh, Dark Ritual. Burning Wish. Oh, actually, this is enough. She has exactly, I believe that's exactly 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's exactly 8. Woo! Man, she found the line. All right, cool. I'm not really rooting for like anyone in particular here, but that was good. I think she paced herself. She set up set up in the right positions. She had the days, which was so important on that turn against the Monastery Mentor. That changes the clock dramatically, and yeah, and she even got her brainstorms exile. I mean, I know that's so. There's the argument there again, like why hit the brainstorms when you could hit like something more relevant, like a ritual or something like that. But like I said, like sometimes they just don't use the rituals until it's time to go off, and you're like, okay, well then I'll at least turn off Passing Flames if I hit the rituals, and then they just go off with Ad Nauseam. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Whereas if you hit, the active spells, or the proactive spells, then at least you're doing something to stop them from amassing that much, amassing that string of spells that will eventually kill you anyways. And again, I think in that particular instance, waiting, letting Kandice draw her card off of the Gitaxian Probe might just be better. Like, let the Gitaxian Probe resolve, let her cast another spell, and then you can do it there, and then just see like if something else happens. Now, if one of them was a Brainstorm, she gets some value out of it, but that's okay. What if you target Ponder, get all of her Ponder, she has one stranded in her hand? That would be kind of interesting. Seth's hand, interesting. Looks like he has the Plains in there. Ooh, that's not very good. He has a Gitaxian Probe as well, but does he have a Cabal Therapy? He has another black spell. I can't see it, though. Leads with Ponder instead. He wants to let Kandice check out what's going on. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and shuffle this off of his Ponder. And like I said, they had very few very few minutes. They didn't have that much time to start this round. So it looks like they're just going to go ahead and Ponder, and Seth's just going to go ahead and Ponder and keep this and see how it kind of works out for him. It looks like Surgical Extraction. Playing with a bit of urgency, it seems like. Main phase Brainstorm here, and they're both playing with some urgency right now. They both know that they need to win a game here at a relatively fast pace, and it's harder for the Ad Nauseam Tendrils player. Seth can hem and haw a little bit about what he needs to counterspell necessarily, but if it's not killing him, he doesn't need to worry about it. Whereas Kandice has I was gonna say, is she gonna go off here? But nope, does not go off. She just has LED. No reason to worry quite yet. Gonna get a Deathrite Shaman in play, which is not a premier threat. It's not going to kill Kandice very quickly, but it will kill eventually. I guess that's how that works. All right, we're going to get a fetch land. Kandice not afraid of Stifle. I wouldn't be either. Not against Esper Delver. There are some variants. I have seen them that play Stifle, but yeah, not here. Kandice, dual lands only, not afraid of Wasteland. Time is not a luxury here, so you have to cast your spells as efficiently as possible, and that's what she's doing. Looks like she's going to get a quick shuffle here, and then ship it back to Seth. Make sure she sees enough, gets enough randomization there. Excellent. All right, here we go. What does Kandice got? Wow, she's got a lot of blue spells. I think one of them's a Daze even. But Seth set up with a Deathrite Shaman plus a Polluted Delta in the back. So even if Kandice has Daze, it's gonna get brickwalled pretty quickly. It's gonna get invalidated. Not this turn specifically, although also specifically this turn, but especially in turns after this. Does not like her Ponder, shuffles it up, gonna get a few out of that and then draw. But yeah, both our players here need to win a game in not very much time. It looked like last I checked, it was 9 minutes. That was about 4 to 5 minutes ago. So they're playing under a bit of pressure. And Seth doesn't have to make. I mean, Kandice can make a ton of mistakes here. So that's a potentially. But what the? She turned her volcanic island upside down. I wonder what that's about. Oh, she passes the turn. Okay. I wonder why it's upside down. What's going on there? So, Seth has a Brainstorm. He could lead with this just to get some information about how he wants this turn to develop. I think that's wise. Start with that. Yeah, and then so if Kandice does have Daze in her hand, it's pretty much dead. There's no way that that's even good. Yeah, let's just shuffle that plains away, please. Please, thank you. All right, so I think a second Deathrite might be really reasonable. Kandice's hand. Ooh, Kandice's hand is good. I I like that hand quite a lot, actually. She's gonna get to play her next land, and then she's kind of all in on this Burning Wish. Wow, yeah, she's all in on the Burning Wish. But if she has a second spell, what's this? Draw off Gitaxian Probe. Oh, he draws the planes. Ugh, that's awful. Oh, Cabal Therapy. Hello. Oh, you can't daze this. Can you? So the Burning Wish is going to go to the bin, yeah. And now, oh, Seth. I would not... Oh, no. I would not brainstorm here. But he could. If he's feeling particularly frisky, he could, but... Oh, no, he doesn't have a brainstorm. He doesn't have a second blue spell? I totally thought he had a blue spell. Let's see what happens here. Kandice. Can Kandice turn the corner? All right, let's see kind of how this goes. I mean, Seth technically has Force of Will up, but oh man, it's hard. Kandice leads with Ponder. I mean, she's digging really desperately. She needs something. She needs a lot. She needs more than one card is the problem. Dark Ritual. Do you have a response? Seth's going to Surgical Burning Wish. That's a reasonable Surgical. Not upset about it. Seth should actually... I haven't been keeping track of Seth's life total. He should be at 15. Let's see what happens. I mean, Seth... I mean, it's still good, but is it good enough? Oh gosh, if Kandice has Ad Nauseam here, she could... I mean, let's see. So there's a Dark Ritual. She's got a bunch of mana floating. Well, a bunch, but she's got some mana floating, plus Storm count's fairly high. Ponder... Well, no. 3? No, just 2. No, 3, because of the Surgical Extraction. Okay, so Storm count's at 3. Alright, so Kandice has to go for it here. Lotus Petal. Alright. Does she have it? She has to have 2. She has to have Ad Nauseam and something else. Yep, she's all in on Infernal Tutor here. She's going to go ahead and crack all these, add a bunch of mana. Force of Will, okay. So she's going to have to set up from 0 here, but a Past in Flames plus a couple lands might be good enough. We'll see. I want to say that these guys are... Oh, it looks like Seth's actually not going to pay the life. He's going to go ahead and exile some lands and, exile some lands and cast it. Hard cast it, so I guess that's fine. It looks like our players are on turns. Seth counting, how do I beat Kandice here? Oh, he uses... I guess he's just going to attack? Is that what's happening? Oh, wow. Did he shuffle that away? I don't remember. Okay, Seth draws for his turn. Ponders. Kandice falls to 15. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Death Rites got in, so she's at 13. Goes to 9. Has to be spells. There we go, yeah. So Seth is on turns here, but Kandice goes to 6. I don't know if he's going to get another one here. Yeah, it looks like Seth's explained the situation. Like, listen, if we weren't in turns, I would have won here. But yeah, it looks like we're going to get a result here. But does not look like we're going to come to a satisfactory resolution of that game. Both players would prefer, or Kandice would prefer to draw. But I'm not gonna comment necessarily on that. So, but we will be cutting to round 5 fairly shortly, guys. Thank you so much for following us. We will be back soon.